Okay guys, this video right here is going to be one of the most important but boring videos you'll ever watch, and this is such a crucial video because let's be honest, if you can't get this and if you can't get your mindset right, it doesn't matter how much theory you know, it doesn't matter what entry model you have, you won't be able to execute it properly. And what that means is you won't be able to make money. So in this video, I'm going to clarify the two biggest things that hold people back psychologically when it comes to trading. Now, broadly in trading, broadly speaking, there are two things that will hold you back. The first is fear and the second is greed. Right, and usually people fall into one of two categories. They're either very fearful, they're very hesitant, they don't want to get into trades, they hate losing, and when they go on a losing streak, they start panicking, they get anxiety, they want to change models, and that's exactly what I was like. Right, that's exactly what I was like. I was such a fear-based trader, and I'd be scared to lose. And as soon as I lost, I'd be like, "Oh, I've done something wrong. I need to change my model. I need to change my model," and that held me back for years. Really, it held me back for years. I was very fearful. I'd be hesitant to take trades. So let's say I lost a trade, right? And my trade usually was like a fair value gap here. So like I would enter. I mean, this isn't my model, but let's just say this is my model, right? And let's say I'd lost, let's say, three trades before. I'd had a free losing streak, and this is what my model. I would not execute it. I'd be so scared. I'd be here, and I'd be so scared, thinking, oh, what if price like goes up and takes me out, and then goes back down again? Like, what happens then? Like that is how I used to be, and that is how fear-based traders are. That's how fear-based traders are. They're very hesitant to get into trades. They hate losing. When they lose, they think they've done something wrong. They want to change things. They want to fix things. They usually, in my experience, they tend to be like perfectionists, right? They may have excelled at school, university, work, whatever they've done. And when they get to trading, they want to control everything and they want everything to be perfect. And that is what holds people back, in terms of fear, the hesitation and the anxiety that goes with it. And the second one, so if you don't really relate to fear, if you're not really like, anxious to get into trades, if losing isn't that big of an issue for you, you might fall into the second category, which is greed, right? A lot of traders fall into greed, which is they're greedy, they want to make money, they're not disciplined. They don't follow their trading plan, they over risk, they over leverage. So let me give you an example. I know a lot of people on Twitter, they ask me about this because they've got, FOMO, greed, that sort of stuff. Fear of missing out is an element of being greedy, right? It's an element of being greedy because you can't accept what your model gives you, right? Because if you follow your trading model, if you've got your trading plan and you follow it every single trade without hesitation, there is zero thing as FOMO. You should have no FOMO because it's not your trading model, right? Like I'm a swing trader. I don't care what a scalper does on the 1 minute chart on gold. Like I don't care. Even if that guy makes like 10K in a day, that means nothing to me because it's not my trading model. I have no FOMO. Whereas people who have greed, they think, you know, even though they've won today, let's say they've won a trade, they think, oh well, this guy made more money than me. They made more money than me. Let me get into a trade. Let me get into a trade. And they struggle. They lack discipline. They struggle to follow their plan. And the reality is they're just focused on making money. They're focused on making money too much, and they'll do anything they can to quickly make money. And when you try and quickly make money, you quickly lose money. So, like an example of a greed-based trader would be, you see this fair value gap here, right? Let's make this a bit bigger. Let's say that entry was this fair value gap, and they're on the charts at this point, right? And they see price coming down, and there's no retracement. They see no retracement, right? So price has come down like this. It's come down like this, and they they think price is not going to come up and give them a second chance like it's done it. They don't think that's going to happen because for whatever reason they're greedy. They think price is going to come all the way down. They think it's going to keep going down. It's going to keep dropping. It's going to keep dropping. It's going to take out liquidity here, here. It's going to keep going down, and they don't even think about the possibility of losing because to them it's all about making money. And what they'll do is, let's say price is here or it's like around here, their entry really is supposed to be up here. That's what it says in their entry model, but they're like, oh, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to enter here and I'm going to target all the way down here. And they target all the way down here. Price, slightly goes in their favor, quickly reverses, it stops them out, and then it goes to their entry. And then usually what happens is their entry is actually right and it goes to their take profit. And then they're angry. They're angry. They start revenge trading. They start changing the model. This is what a lot of greed-based traders have. They have this sort of issue where they can't follow their model. They're chasing price. They don't have discipline. They can't wait for it. Maybe they follow their model for a week and then they give it all back, on one trade, the next week after because they can't follow their model. And greed at its core, it's a lack of discipline. It's a lack of discipline. So for greed, the key thing is you have a lack of discipline in yourself. You can't follow your model. can't follow your model because you have a lack of discipline. Whereas with fear, the key thing there is a lack of confidence, right? With fear, it's a lack of confidence. With discipline, with greed, it's a lack of discipline, right? I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense because that's very, very important. Fear-based traders don't have confidence in themselves, they don't have confidence in their model, and they don't have confidence in the markets in general, right? And that was for me. I had, a huge problem with like just not having confidence in my model. Like I'd lose like 2 trades in a row, and I'd be like, oh, what if I lose again? What if I lose again? What if I lose the next 5 trades? Like this is what I would think, right? Because I didn't have confidence in myself, right? And it's very, very important as a trader you have confidence in yourself because, eventually you're going to be putting real money on the line, and depending on how big your ambitions are, your stop loss could be $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, right? Because if you want to make 10K in a day and you've got a free risk to reward ratio, you're going to be risking $3,000. $3,000 is a lot of money, and you need to be at a point where you're confident enough to risk that money and lose that money, right? If you lose a trade and it's $3,000 stop loss, that shouldn't bother you. Eventually, that will not bother you. So, you've got to be at a point, if you're a fear-based trader, where you're confident in yourself and you're confident in your model. And if you're a greed-based trader, if you're greedy, you like chasing price, you get FOMO, you need to develop discipline. You need to develop discipline. And I'm going to give you a solution, right? And this is the key solution. It's journaling. And I know people don't like to journal for whatever reason, but what a journal really is let's say we have the example, right? The trader who was supposed to enter at this fair value gap. He was supposed to enter this fair value gap. And for whatever reason, he sold price down here, chasing price because he couldn't wait for a retracement up. You would get your snipping tool up. Don't know if you guys can see this. Let's just type it in here, right? You'd get your snipping tool up. I'm not going to actually do it. You'd get like whatever screenshot software you want. You'd take a screenshot of this. You'd put it on a Google Docs and you just type, here is a trade which I did not wait for, right? I chased price and, price quickly reversed. It took me out and I should have waited here. And you write that down in a journal and you write down how you were feeling and why you did that, right? So you might write down like, oh, I got into the trade because I thought it wasn't going to come up. I thought it wasn't going to come up. And then what you'll see is, let's say you journal for a few weeks, you'll read it back and you'll be like, oh, it's just a lack of confidence. It's just a lack of, almost experience, right? Because if you think about this, if you see this enough times, you'll be like, oh, if I just wait for a retracement, then I'll be fine. So what you'll see is, in this instance, chasing price is just a lack of almost experience with your model. And the cure for that is backtesting. Right? Backtesting is so important because if you backtested this 100 times, you're going to realize, oh, well, every time I wait for retracement, I'm profitable over the long run. Where every time I chase price, I lose right away. Right? So that's where a journal comes in. And if you're a fear-based trader, and again, we're going to use the analogy that this is your entry, and usually what your model says is that your stop loss should be, let's say here, like that, and your take profit should be down here, right? Whatever, 6 to 1, whatever. Entry doesn't matter, but for whatever reason, you've lost 2 trades and you're afraid to get in. You're afraid to get into this trade because you think, for whatever reason, it's going to go up like that. And we're in live price action now, so I don't know what's actually going to happen. But let's just suppose it does this. Let's suppose it goes straight down to your take profit. You're going to journal this, and you're going to be like, due to the previous trades I had, I was nervous, I was fearful, I didn't have confidence in myself, and I was too scared to get into the trade, and now the trade's quickly gone off without me, and it's hit my take profit. Right? That's what you will journal, and then you'll realize over time, over reading your journal, that, oh, you know, it's just a lack of experience, really. It's a lack of experience in my model. Because if you've seen this, again, we're going to go back to backtesting. If you backtest this 100 times, do you know more often than not, when price retraces to a fair value gap and you're bearish, you tend to make money, you're going to execute it. You're going to execute it. So the solution almost always tends to be more backtesting, get more and more confidence. And you don't just backtest once, right? The first initial backtesting is to get your data. So like when I first backtested my model, it was a 50% win rate, free risk to reward ratio. That's like the actual data that you have an edge. And then afterwards, you keep backtesting to get the experience, because the more and more you can train your eyes, the less likely you are to do emotional things like fear and greed. And yeah, backtesting and journaling are so key. And I know people hate journaling. I know they hate backtesting. It is tedious, but I'm telling you, please, if you just take a screenshot of this and you just write like a sentence or two, that will help you out so much. Because I realized, like, I had no idea about any of this, but I read my journal. People told me to journal, so I journaled and I read it back, and I was like, man, every time I lose, I go into a tailspin. Like, I'm so afraid of losing. And what that is really at its core is a perfectionist, right? A perfectionist trying to, because I mean, I'll be honest, everything I've done in life, and not to sound arrogant, like I tend to succeed at, and I tend to be like almost the best. So for me, being a trader and losing 50% of the time, but still making money, that for me is very hard. Because for me, um, my brain sees success as winning, right? High win rate, 80, 90%, 95%, let's say. Because if it's an exam, usually I'm getting, high 80s, low 90s. So for me, 50% win rate, that doesn't really, go well in my brain because it's like I'm going to lose quite a lot. I don't like losing. So for me, fear was such a huge issue because I was a perfectionist and I had to let go of that. I had to let go of that perfectionist. I had to accept, humble myself really that, what, I'm going to lose a lot. I'm going to lose a lot. And the real loser in trading, it's not it's not price going against you, right? So let's remove this. The real loser in trading, and this is so important because if you can get this, you can truly be profitable. The real loser in trading isn't, let's say this is your model. It isn't this. That's not a real loser. The real loser is two things. It's either you not getting in the trade because you're so afraid that price is going to go against you, or price literally going down like this and you're too impatient, undisciplined to wait for retracement, so you're just going to enter as soon as possible. You're just going to enter here randomly, buy it, just randomly sell and target all the way down there, and then price goes against you. That right there, those two scenarios, is a real loser in trading. That's a real loser in trading, right? But price, you following your model and price action doing that, that's not a loser. That's not a real loser because that's exactly what you expect. Because if you truly understand what a win rate is, because let's go off the analogy, you've got a 50% win rate and a free risk to reward ratio like I have, right? That right there is enough to make you a millionaire. That's enough to make you a millionaire, 10K a month, 100K a month, a million a month, or whatever you want. But let's just go off that analogy. You've got a 50% win rate. What that really means, what it truly means, is you have a 50% loss rate. Right? No one talks about this. Everyone talks about win rate, but what's your loss rate? You're going to lose 50% of the time. Right? You're going to lose 50% of the time. 50% of your trades are going to hit your stop loss, not your take profit. And you've got to accept that. You've got to actually accept that. Because if you don't accept that, you're never going to be profitable. You're never going to be profitable because, even for me, like I'd back test it and have a 50% win rate, 60% win rate, and then as soon as I lose like a trade or two, I'm like, oh, I need to change something. I need to change something. Why? Why do you need to change something? Right? You got to trust your back testing. You got to trust your edge. And you got to trust your data because you don't have data on your emotions. You don't have data on your emotions, but you have data on your trading plan. You have data on your trading plan, and every day your emotions change depending on how you feel. So you can't trust them at all. You can't trust them at all. And if you're like a greed-based trader, so you've got FOMO, you're over leveraging, you're revenge trading, all that is a lack of discipline. It's a lack of discipline, and discipline's kind of a hard thing because it's a life trait, right? It's a personality trait. It's not just it's not just trading. It's a personality trait. So if you're undisciplined off the charts, you're going to be undisciplined on the charts. Now, what do I actually mean by that? If you get up late, right, you don't have an alarm clock. You're getting up whenever you feel like it. Let's say you maybe go to the gym. You half-ass your workouts. You're supposed to go, let's say 6 days a week, 5 days a week to the gym, but you only go 3 days a week. Right, you say you're gonna do something, but then I don't really wanna, you kind of half-ass it. If you do that, and that sounds like you, that's gonna show in your trading. It's gonna show in your trading. If you're not disciplined, if you don't say I'm gonna do something and then do it, you're an undisciplined trader, right? And it doesn't matter whether that's in trading or in life. If you're undisciplined, it's gonna show up in the charts. And how do you develop discipline? This is a hard thing. It's a hard thing for a lot of people to develop. But for me, you've got to get the good habits in. Set up an alarm clock, right? Let's say you go to work, I don't know, but you wake up at 7 a.m. every day. On the weekend, make it 9 a.m., 8 a.m. But me, I wake up at 7 a.m. 7 days a week, every single day, and I go gym every single day. But 3 days I go to the gym, 1 day I have a rest day, non-stop. That's what I do constantly, right? I don't say, oh, I'm gonna go to gym today, and then like, I don't really feel like it. I'm kind of tired. Like, I would never do that. And you gotta make sure you would never do that too. Because if you're that type of guy, like, I don't know, and then you go to the gym and you're like, let's say it's leg day. Oh, I'm kind of tired now. Let's just do half a workout. Let's go light today. That's undisciplined. That's laziness, right? If you're undisciplined like that, it's gonna show up in the charts, right? Because you gotta think about it. If you've got a model, a trading model, and it says, if I follow this, if I do this, if I execute here, my take profits here, my stop losses here, I will be a millionaire. Why can't you do that? right? It sounds pretty logical, isn't it? You have a trading model that you've proven, that you've back tested, that's proven to work. You know it works. You've seen it work. Why can't you stick to it? Right? That model right there gives you financial freedom. It makes you money, but you can't stick to it because you lack discipline. And you've got to fix that discipline. Now, journaling will help. Journaling will show you. It will. Journaling is just a proof, right? It's just a proof that you've got, whatever's holding you back. You might revenge trade, right? So you might, let's say for whatever reason, let's say price does this, and you might chase price here, or you might look for like a crappy setup. So you might get a little retracement like this, and then you start selling it, and then price goes all the way up, not all the way up, but let's say it goes up here, takes out your stop loss, and then goes down, and then you get beaten up. And another thing, this is a key one. A lot of people, let's say you risk 1% every trade, right? They might be like, oh, I lost a trade. Let me risk 5%, no stop loss, right? No stop loss. That's a lack of discipline. That's a complete lack of discipline. You should be able to show up the charts, take a win, take a loss, completely fine, and move on with your life. That is discipline and that is confidence combined, because you need both of them to be profitable, right? You need both of them you need to be disciplined and confident. Right? You got to get rid of fear and greed. You'll have elements of both, but like for me as a fear-based trader, I would never risk more than 1%, or I would never not have a stop loss, or I would never like chase price, because for me, I'm too afraid to get in. I'm too afraid to lose, so I would never chase price. In fact, a lot of times I'm too afraid to get in on my entry. Price goes up without me. I'm like, oh, at least I didn't lose. That's what I used to be like. I used to be like, at least I didn't lose. Imagine that. Like I wouldn't take a sell, a valid sell, but I'd be okay with myself as long as I didn't lose. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So you need to journal that, because I only learned that by journaling. I read it and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I doing? I'm holding myself back. So much unnecessary pain for no reason. And yeah, you want to journal that. And for discipline, so for greed-based traders, you've got to develop discipline. And you've got to do that throughout your whole life. Right, your whole life. And, no one said trading is going to be easy. If you want this, you got to put in a lot of work and you got to sacrifice a lot. Right? Because this is the final hurdle now. If you're watching this video, you've probably got a model. You probably trust, you know how to read price, you know what daily bias is, you know what fair value gap is, it's pretty simple. That all you need now is the mindset for success. That's the only thing that holds you back. The last hurdle is the mindset. Profitability is right there. Look, it's right there at your grasp. You can literally smell it. Think about it. You can smell it, you can feel it, you can see it. You just need to get over that last hurdle, and you're done. You're done. And yeah, I know I've rambled on for a bit, but this is such an important video, and I want you to make sure that you get this. And you might need to watch this again. But yeah, so something that's really helped me out recently is affirmation. I don't know if you know what an affirmation is. An affirmation is essentially, it's like a positive statement that you write down, right? So some unattractive girls, they might write, "I am very pretty. I am very pretty. I am very pretty." Like that sort of stuff. That almost like a little prep talk you give yourself, right, to give yourself more confidence. Now, for trading, if you write, like, and I wrote down some affirmations, like, I am a profitable trader. I am a profitable trader. I am a profitable trader. And the one that I personally use is, I am so happy and grateful now that I am a profitable trader. And you might be asking, why the heck are you doing that? What's the point in that? Because your subconscious brain, and this is so important, right? Your subconscious brain will hold you back, not your conscious brain. Because right here, this is supposes your model. I can tell you right now, you've got a trading model and it's profitable, and if you follow it, you will be rich. And you consciously, your logical brain knows that. It knows if I follow my model, I will be rich. But for whatever reason, you can't do that. You can't actually execute it. Now, the reason you can't do that is because of your subconscious brain. And the majority of your brain, 95% of it, is subconscious. Right? Conscious brain, the logical brain, is only a tiny part. 95% of it is subconscious, and subconscious means it happens automatically because it's being deep-rooted programming. Now you can, with great effort, you can change your subconscious brain, but it takes a lot of effort, a lot of effort. And these affirmations are key. These affirmations absolutely help you out. So let's say you're a greed-based trader, you're undisciplined, you have FOMO, you can't switch your model. You're gonna write down, I am a disciplined trader, and you're gonna do that 100 times or however many times you have. Let's say you've got a notepad, just fill out the page. I am a disciplined trader. I am a disciplined trader. I am a disciplined trader. Or if you're a fear-based trader like I am a confident trader. I am a confident trader. I am a confident trader. And I've got a list of affirmations. And what you can do, I know this might sound a bit weird, you go on ChatGPT and you can just say, hey, look, just type in a few things about yourself. Like, look, I'm a fear-based trader. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I hate losing, I always doubt myself. Can you just give me like 10 affirmations? And it will give you 10 affirmations based on what you said. And you can just like have that on the Word document and just write them out every day. That's what I do, right? And it really helps you out. It really helps you out because over time, over like a week, within a week, you'll start noticing this. Your subconscious brain will start activating. So let's say I'm a fear-based trader, right? I'm too scared to get in. Um, my subconscious brain will be like, well, actually, you keep saying to yourself, you are a profitable trader. And the key thing with your subconscious brain is it can't differentiate between real and imaginary, right? It doesn't know the truth. Your logical brain knows the truth, but your subconscious brain doesn't know the truth. So if you keep saying to yourself, I am a profitable trader, I am a profitable trader, your subconscious brain is going to force you to act like one. It's going to force you to act like one. That's so important. It's going to force you to act like one. So if I'm on the charts and I'm like, oh, I'm afraid, my logical brain, oh, I'm afraid to get in. But my subconscious brain is like, well, actually, you're a profitable trader, and a profitable trader would get in. And your subconscious brain hates it, absolutely hates it when something goes against it. So if your subconscious brain has been deluded by you writing it down that you're a profitable trader, it hates the fact that you wouldn't be a profitable trader. And it will do everything possible subconsciously, right? So subconsciously means without you actually thinking, to make you profitable. So it will force you to be disciplined. It will force you to act, with confidence in your trade, right? So and this really helped me out because it's like my brain was like, well, actually, you are a profitable trader, and I am a profitable trader, and then I would enter the trade, and guess what? It would go in my favor, and I'd be a profitable trader, and then it's more and more positive reinforcement, more and more reinforcement, right? Because your subconscious brain, you've got to change your self-image, right? And your subconscious brain creates a self-image. Now, a lot of you, and I had this for ages. My whole identity was, oh, I'm a struggling trader. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make it. If you keep saying, I'm trying to make it, I'm trying to be a profitable trader, I am going to do it one day, one day, one day, that one day will never ever come. It will never ever come because your subconscious brain still thinks that you're grinding, grinding, grinding. It thinks you want to keep working, 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 right? So what you've got to do is you've got to truly convince your subconscious brain, and you do that just literally by writing down these affirmations and feeling the emotion. You want to convince your subconscious brain that you are a profitable trader right now, right? Now the results aren't there. Don't worry about the results. The results will come. Trust me, the results will come. But you want to write that down, and you want your subconscious brain to believe and delude your subconscious brain to thinking that you're a profitable trader. So you start acting like one. Because for me, my whole identity was I'm a trader. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make it. Well, guess what? My subconscious brain is going to keep me as a aspiring trader, not the trader I want to be, but a student that's always trying to learn, learn, learn. It took me years to stop studying and finally get into the charts, right? Like properly. I was watching like ICT when I already had my trading model years into it. Like I didn't need to keep watching YouTube videos, but my subconscious brain thought that I was a student. Oh, I'm a student. I'm a student. I'm learning how to trade. I'm learning how to trade. Well, I'd be learning how to trade forever until I changed my mindset to I actually want to make money from this. I actually want to be a profitable trader. I don't want to be here forever, right? So you've got to change your subconscious brain, and that's the key because your self-image, this is what we're talking about here. Your self-image needs to be, I am a profitable trader. I am a profitable trader, and I act like one because I am a profitable trader. Not, oh, I can never follow my plan. I've got so much FOMO. I'm undisciplined. If you keep saying I am undisciplined, guess what? Your subconscious brain is going to make you undisciplined because that's what you keep telling it. Whereas if you keep telling it, I am a profitable trader, I am a profitable trader, I am confident, I am disciplined, then your subconscious brain will make you that. And that's the power of these affirmations. And if you understand that, if you truly understand those affirmations, and you can change your subconscious brain, you can fix fear and greed. You can fix fear and greed. I'm telling you, you can fix it because that was the final thing that got me to profitability. Is these affirmations. And I know they sound ridiculous and it sounds weird, but like I'm telling you, I don't know like what it is, but that will actually help you. It will actually help you. And yeah, please, for your sake and for my sake and for everyone's sake, try these affirmations out. Whew, that was quite a rant, wasn't it? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you actually got a lot of help from this. A lot of help because it's such an important video. It's such an important video. Please, please, please do not just forget about this. Please implement this. This is such an important video. Such an important video. And yeah, that's all there is for me. And I'll see you guys in the next video.